the next little tip I'm going to show you is how to create matching components when you want them to all be the same size. So if you are someone who is sculpting an animal, for example, let's say that this little body is eventually going to become a hippopotamus, you know that you're going to want 4 legs, probably all roughly the same size, and you want all of them to match and be the same length, weight, and volume. So if you are looking to make components that match in size and shape, here is my best advice. Now, let's say I were making horns for a cow. What I could do in the instance is start with a piece of clay, and all I would need to do to make sure that 2 pieces were exactly the same size is to start with 1 piece and just eyeball it by cutting in half, and now I have 2 exact same size pieces. I know this seems very self-explanatory, but a lot of times when I see kids sculpting, they will try to make 1 piece, 1 horn in its entirety, set that aside, and then they go get another piece of clay and try to make the other one match. And if you're not starting with 2 pieces of the same size, it's really, really difficult to get them to match. So that is how you get 2 matching pieces. Now, if I wanted to split this down further, let's say I wanted 4, now I could take one of these pieces and cut it in half again, and this one in half again. Now, it may not be the shape that I want, but I do know that all of these 4 pieces are almost identical in size and shape. From here, I could start sculpting them any way I like. So let's say I wanted kind of like little cartoon hippopotamus legs. I could start forming and shaping them. And if you work a little bit at a time, if you start working on all of them all at once, it's much easier to get them all to match than it would be to make 1 leg with all of its wrinkles and its little toenails, and then come back and try to do all 4 of them one after another. It's actually easier to work on them all a little bit at one time. So I may not make them perfect, but you want to kind of do the same thing to all of your pieces just to make sure that they match as you work. So again, these are not perfect, but you can see now if I were to start adding legs to my hippopotamus, which I think I wouldn't want them sticking off that far, but now I know at least they are the size and shape that is uniform between all 4 of them. And that works for, you know, if you were making bird wings, or if you were making wheels to a car, or if you were making ears of a rabbit. So anything where you need matching components, you always want to start with 1 piece and break it down into matching sized pieces.